Hey there, we're Nigel and Sue, and we've spent the last 2 years travelling Australia, living in our self-converted camper van. In this episode, we've traded Van Life Australia for Boat Life New Zealand, as we head north from Christchurch to Picton to spend a couple of days living on a yacht. We sail out into the Marlborough Sound before heading back to Christchurch along one of the most beautiful drives we've ever done. Good morning, friends! Summer has arrived in New Zealand. I think we're only going to get one day of it. It's supposed to be... Nigel's giving me a hard time. 27 degrees forecast for today, 18 for tomorrow, so you do the math. We're just packing up the car here because we're going on an adventure for a couple of days. We're taking Nigel's mum with us. I'm doubtful that she'll be happy to get on camera, but we'll see if we can sneak a little bit of her on so you can meet her. We're just getting the car packed up and then we're going to hit the road. Nigel's mum called shotgun and got the front seat. I sat in the back, which wasn't the best for filming, and the New Zealand scenery is so beautiful. Just stopped for a toilet break and I'm loving this mural on the toilet block. We are in a little town called Cheviot, and like in all my time I've ever been to New Zealand, this is like the warmest I've ever been. See?
See, it is summer.
One day of it. We're in the town of Kaikoura. We've stopped here for lunch, and interestingly this town experienced an earthquake about 5 years ago, and there were rock slides on either side of the town in the cliffs, and the entire town was blocked off by road for almost a year. But now it's just full of lots of tourists. Cool artwork here, including the bird artwork on that car.
All this road's new because the road was up there.
We've just stopped near the seal colony. I'm glad for your sake, friends, that you can't smell it. It's really nasty. But maybe we'll see some seals. So many of them. Very good on land, are they? Look at the little baby one. Oh, look at all the babies there. So in November of 2016, 160,000 tonnes of rubble came down that headland there, completely blocking off the road and the rail line. And it took 13 months and 8,000 truckloads for them to remove all of that rubble and reopen the road there. It's actually, they've built a whole new road. You can see where the original road was, up a little bit higher. Now, I may have been having an after-lunch nap when we drove this section on the way up, so this footage is from our return trip. These wire barriers are in place to prevent falling rocks hitting vehicles.
Alright, so we're just heading down to the jetty. You can see the two ferries, one coming in and the other one ready to go out between Picton and Wellington. And we're going to go check out our possible accommodation for the night. Oh, I think I've... yeah. No, it's not that one.
It's a tub.
It is this one. What do you reckon, Susie? Looking pretty flash, huh? Nice. Hey. 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 Hop.
So here's our home. We're just going to move it into a slightly more stable berth. Nigel is getting a crash course in being first mate from our good friend and skipper Andy, who kindly loaned us the boat to stay on for a couple of days. Thanks, Andy. Nigel's just going down to check the temperature of the water. Our mate over there who's having a swim just said it's freezing. So we're on the boat, all ready to
Go to bed.
go to bed. It's like 11:30.
Oh, I'm tired.
Poor Nigel's so tired. Just brushed our teeth. Got the bed set up in there. Yeah, so this is us for the night. On board the, what's it called?
The good ship
Persuader.
Persuader.
See you in the morning, friends. Nigel found these public bathrooms quite amusing.
Door closed. Please press button to lock. Door locked. Your maximum use time is 10 minutes. Press button to unlock door. Door is unlocked.
The music stopped.
Thank you for using Exolute.
Exolute. Exolute. It was too. It's actually rather pleasant. But yeah. Let's go and see if Susie's awake. Kid, what's going on?
Good morning, friends. So we've just woken up on the boat. We actually had quite a good sleep. Well, except that I slept down here in the, what do you call this part?
The galley?
No,
The
is
head?
it
No.
the stern or the bow?
That's the front part.
What is it, Nigel?
It's the front.
We're such good sailors, aren't we? We don't even know. I think it's the
That's the bow.
stern. I thought the... Just as I said that, Nigel said, I think it's the bow. I'm pretty sure the bow's the back and the stern is the front. Aft? What's aft? Midships?
No, after's back.
Oh, I don't know. Clearly we're not sailors. I slept in the front pointy bit. Nigel slept in this little, like, tiny little cavern down the back because there really wasn't enough room for the two of us up there. But yeah, we both slept quite well.
Yeah, the bow's the front.
Oh, is it? Okay, the bow. I slept in the bow. I could have sworn that was the stern. Anyway. Yeah, so our two options for sleeping were the boat where we currently are and a bus. We wanted to try the boat, obviously, because it's something completely different.
Well, there's a yacht.
Yacht. It's a sailboat yacht. I know, all the sailors in our audience will be like cringing. My dad, I'm sorry, Dad, you should, I'm sure you brought me up better.
He would have told you what a bow and stern.
He would have. I'm sorry, Dad.
So,
We're just enjoying tea and coffee, and then one of us has to go back to the car to get the Vegemite.
I know who that's going to be. Alright, okay, off we go. Alright.
Oh no, I'll go, babe.
It's alright. I've done the coffee.
So while we woke up to a beautiful still morning, the wind has just picked up like crazy. These massive gusts just came across, and there's all these clouds. Now we also have old mate that is trying to give us an infringement notice for being docked here, when in actual fact Andy had sorted it all out. But you can see the clouds starting to roll in there, and the wind is whistling through the rigging. Nigel's out there talking to the harbour master, or whatever you want to call him, and I think he's sorted it out now, so I don't think we're going to get a parking fine infringement notice. Okay, so the weather has definitely changed. It's going to be fun times on the yacht. So this is where we are moored here in Picton Harbor, but this is where the ferries leave from to go between the South and the North Island. So it's really quite stunning here. This is only a small harbour. There's a massive big marina kind of just around these mountains here, which is apparently the second largest in New Zealand, but this whole town is surrounded by the mountains. Interestingly, we have palm trees, kind of a little bit out of place in New Zealand. The next day we went sailing on the boat across the Sound to where some of our friends have a batch, which is Kiwi speak for a holiday house. We watched our mate KJ, who loaned us the car for the Ghost Road trip last week, towing the kids around on the biscuits. Nigel then instructed the girls on how to dive. On the way back, I got to drive the boat. We came back with the motor, not sailing, until we got close to the ferry.
Alright, we're not hitting anything. It's all good. Oh, hey, Captain.
The next day it was time to head back to Christchurch. We stopped at a beautiful surf village for lunch and finally got Nigel's mum in front of the camera.
We're not doing photo, we're doing video.
We have come today to the Christchurch Adventure Park. So here you can take the chairlift up to the top of the hill and ride down. So we've just parked up the bikes here and we're going to go in and grab our tickets.
The ticket to ride for one ride up the chairlift, $10 per person.
$20 per person.
You're right, $10 per person. And now we're going to sign a waiver as it's our first time up. So all care, no responsibility.
Yep, all the risks. Risk. Sign a waiver, which is really just a scam so they can get your email address.
We're bloody onto you rascal.
We're not signing the waiver. We're so naughty.
Just like a ski field, but without all the snow, hey?
I know.
Alright, so we're about to do our very first bike chairlift experience. Not quite sure how this is going to go just
Well,
yet.
there's a guy there that hopefully is going to help us.
Oh yeah, the guy there loading the bikes. Don't drop the gloves. Why'd you take your glove off? Bend down. Alright, we're off.
At least I don't have to worry about digging the toes of my skis in.
How cool is this? There you go, up we come. Here we go. There we are, boys. Oh, graceful of you.
We're at the top of the chairlift now and the view's pretty incredible.
Need to figure out which way we're going to go. Green or blue. Fully through the pine forest here. Alright, come off the trails, about to pack up. What's the verdict?
Yeah, it was okay.
Look, Susie's a bit nonplussed.
Apparently my expectations were too high.
You've done
The
it?
chairlift ride was nice. So for part 2 of our adventures today, we're going to play croquet. Do you know the rules, Nige?
Yeah. Well, I've played like once before, so
Yeah, I played about
it's a bit like
25 years ago.
It's a bit like billiards on grass.
I know you got to go through the hoops,
Yeah,
but then what happens when you knock the other person out?
You got to bash them out of the way.
Yeah. We'll see how we go. We played croquet with Brian and Caroline, a lovely couple who live in the same village as Nigel's mum. It did get a bit competitive. Can he do it? Okay, so pressure's on Nigel because Brian with the blue ball, the red ball is in a great spot.
There's definitely no friends in this game. Oh, you big bully.
It's getting a bit vicious, folks. I just hit the shot of the game. Unfortunately, Nigel did not record it. Anyway.
Better be good. It better be good. No pressure. Ah! Oh, good shot.
Good shot. Good shot.
Okay, it's the last hoop. Nigel and Caroline are aiming for the tiebreaker. At the moment, it's 6-5 to me and Brian. And I actually got a hoop. Only one, but anyway.
Bye-bye.
Not good. In the end, Brian and I took the win. So we're just getting the car packed up to go to the airport. Nigel's put both bike boxes in the back and tied it up with a piece of string.
That's all right, we're only going 2k. Trusty Peugeot.
Let's do it. Just as well you're not super tall, Nige. I mean, look where his knees are. Look where mine are.
Yeah.
I'm like completely squashed.
Don't have to clutch it, so that's all right.
Yeah. After a long day of flying, we arrived back in Perth and back to the van. In the final part of the adventure, I am waiting here in the airport with our 2 bike boxes on a trolley for Nigel, who's gone to get the van to come and pick me up because there's no way we could fit in a taxi or an Uber with the 2 of us and the 2 boxes. So within about half an hour, we'll be reunited with the van. We're really tired and I just want to get into the van and just feel like I'm home.
It's safe to say Susie's glad to be back in the van.
I'm so happy.
Happiness is being back in the van. Yeah, it's going to be hot nights tonight, so let's see how loving the van will be then.
I love it.
Hotter the better for you, isn't it?
We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please join us next time when we explore some of Perth and head down south to Marlborough to check out some giants. Thanks for watching. See you next time.